What is up, everybody? The History Guy here. Well, a great response to the first Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts video, so I'm back with some more. To all of you who have found this channel because of that video, because there's been a lot of new subscribers in the last day or two, welcome. I'm glad you're here. You will learn very quickly that I do not claim to be an expert on any of these games. I'm just a guy who loves history, who studied history in college, and loves to just kind of talk about history and interact, but also to play these games. And so I'm learning along with you. And so I welcome all of the great feedback that I've had so far. As with all of the games, I do not claim to know it all, so anything you offer is going to be very helpful. As you learned if you watched the first video, I'm used to playing the Age of Sail game, which meant I got really super close when I shouldn't have. Made a lot of mistakes along the way. I feel like I've got a little bit better handle on this game now. I've also turned down the graphics just a bit. I went from the highest graphic setting in the last video to down 2 notches from there, which is to good, kind of the average setting. I think it'll run better on a system like the one I have. But let's dive in. And what we're going to dive into today is I want to actually play with the modern battleship a little bit. So we're going to boost the technology, get some of the best tech out there, and we get to build battleships. We're going to take on 2 battleships, 5 cruisers, and 5 destroyers. So this one's going to be exciting. I'm pretty excited about being able to do this. So you can see this is probably like an Iowa class or a Missouri class battleship. I'm not sure. I think Missouri might be an Iowa class, but basically the end of the battleship era, the most late technology that they had with those. So as with all things, we have to start off with a tower, and we're kind of limited as to where we can put that. So I guess we're going to go right there. We've got to go with our secondary tower and funnel. We can actually put the secondary tower right there. Or we can, yeah, you know what? Let's do that. We need at least 1 funnel. That's going to have to go. Actually, I guess that should probably go between there. But nah, we'll just put it right there. We need at least 2 main guns. I'd love to have barbettes to give me a little more flexibility with that, but okay, I guess we can on the rear one anyway. So let's get the biggest gun possible, an 18-inch 3-barrel. I'm going to stick that right there. Maybe. There we go. Awesome. Then I want to go with another one if we can in front of that. Looks like we can. Excellent. Let's stick one up front. Kind of got to feel it out a little bit here. So yeah, the weight's offset just a little bit. Now, because we're taking on destroyers, if we happen to get close, we ought to be able to hit them with some secondary guns too. And I'm going to make those as big as possible because I've got plenty of weight and money to work with here. So let's go with 8-inch 3 barrels. And we can stick some of those, I think, right up on this. Maybe, maybe not. So it overlaps with the tower. Oh, we can stick them right here. Excellent. And when you stick one on one side, it automatically sticks one on the other side. Maybe we can get smaller ones. I don't know if we can get smaller ones up here or not. All right, so I know we can stick guns on the tower, but I guess we got to do it with smaller ones. There we go. Let's get a bunch of these 5-inch guns going. If we happen to get close to any of those destroyers, we'll be able to do a lot of damage with those from the side. We still have 3. We're a little offset on the weight, but we can deal with that later. I'm also going to go ahead and throw a couple of underwater torpedo tubes on this thing. I'm probably not ever going to get close enough to use them, but I may as well if I can. Now, what I love about this game is it does a great job of spelling everything out for you. So, for example, I look and say, okay, my bulkheads are standard. What happens if I change those? The bulkheads are reinforced walls that divide the hull's interior, so that's protection against flooding, so that if you get a little bit of flooding in your ship, it doesn't damage the whole thing. If you're familiar with the story of the Titanic, you know they had these watertight bulkheads that divided the bottom of the ship. And as long as they didn't have too many of those flooded, they could contain the flooding. So it increases the ship's cost and decreases available tonnage, but otherwise it improves your flooding protection, it improves your fire protection in sections below the waterline. So there's a lot to be gained So we're going to go ahead and increase the bulkheads a little bit. I also want to really increase my range. That way, I'm going to try to stay as far away as possible from these other ships and do my damage from a distance if I can. Now, I've got some room to work with displacement because I'm well under on that. The last thing I want to do is look at the armor a little bit. I'm going to try to upgrade my armor and see what that does. I'm still able to field 3 of these bad boys, so that's good. I'm well under on weight, but I've got better armor. It's much stronger than what I had before. Now, Citadel protection here, that just protects our tower up here. I'm not sure what that's going to do to the overall cost. That actually, yeah, see, that keeps me from being able to have 3 ships. So we're going to have to go without the Citadel protection. But that's not a huge deal. And then I want to look real quick at the... Well, so here's our plan right here. Obviously, we're not dealing with... I was talking about American classes. This is a Leon class, so I don't know if I'm French. I guess it must be French. I wonder if there's a way that you can actually name your ships. So I haven't seen that yet. Maybe that's only in the campaign mode. But we can add to our armor here. You can just kind of tweak all of that however you want to. I'm definitely going to protect my turrets a little more. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm not too worried about the secondary ones. I'm going to go with another inch of turret top armor. And I think we're ready to go. We've got 3 big guns. We can fire 9 shells, 18-inch shells at one time, which is amazing. And then we've got these guns here and then a bunch of smaller ones. I feel like that's going to be enough with 3 of these to take on... Oh, design is invalid. So we've got to offset the weight a little bit. So let me figure out how to do that real quick. All right, so all I had to do was actually back up this gun just a little bit to shift the weight a little further to the center. We're now at a place where the design is okay. We're ready to launch. And now we're going to get into a big battle. And I feel like it'll probably function better now that I've turned the graphics down a little bit. We shouldn't see as much choppiness with this. All right, so we're Spanish. Leon. I should have known that was Spanish. I don't know why I said it was French. My apologies to our Spanish-speaking friends out there. I should have known better. We're taking on the French, and we're taking on a bunch of them. So one of the things I learned is I get thrown off by the controls a little bit because Q actually turns to the right and E turns to the left, which is a little backwards compared to what I'm used to. But I'm sure we can change that in the settings. So I'm going to go ahead and start speeding along. We're heading to the northwest is where we're seeing smoke. And I'm going to keep all of my battleships in a row together and then just try to keep it as long a distance as I possibly can. I'm curious to see what the range is on these guns. These 18-inch guns have a range of 35 kilometers. That's amazing. They have a crew of 150. You can see all of the available information, and you can see what their accuracy is at different distances. So much information. You know, for an alpha build, it's amazing just how much detail they've already put into this game, even in this Academy mode. So pretty thrilled about that. I hope you guys are too. I'm going to go ahead and drop out until we actually see some combat. While I'm thinking about it, I'm going to show you something else here. In the settings, you can change your length measurements. So, you know, for me being an American, we use the imperial system, so it's inches and feet. So we're going to go with that just because that's what I'm used to. I know the rest of the world is different, but it doesn't actually change a whole lot. You can see everything's still in kilometers, so I'm not exactly sure what that accomplished. I'm still looking to see where they are. I love the little Spanish flags that we see, and there's a good view of our ship in action and all of the guns that it's got available to it here. We're still steaming toward the northwest, trying to find where the enemy is. I'm going to look out that way and see if I can actually see something. See, we're only at 9 kilometers right here, and our range goes way further out than that, even further than this. And so I don't know how far away he is, but he's out there somewhere. All right, here we go. We have spotted him, and we are making our first salvos, and he's firing back. So I'm going to go ahead and start turning. We are well inside range. Lots of shots are a-flying from both sides. I definitely do not want to get any closer than this. I want to see how these shots are landing, though. Looks like we're... Oh, man. We just lit him up. Is that one of his destroyers? It is. That destroyer is already in bad shape. Let's slow things down now. He is coming full speed at me with this destroyer right here. So we need to take that guy out first. We're starting to get turned now. I've got some damage I've taken on my flagship. Yeah, light that guy up. A couple of good hits with these 18-inch guns and he'll be toast. Looks like right now we're all targeting him. He is coming right at me. He's probably going to try to land some torpedo hits on me. There we go. Now these are the smaller guns that are hitting him now. That was one of the big guns. I'm going to slow down to normal speed. Just one solid hit with these 18-inch guns and he should be toast. He's turning now. He's going to get his torpedo fire on me. Man. Not having a lot of success with these guns. There we go. Did he fire torpedoes? Because I don't see any. I feel like that's the only reason he would have come down and turned like that. Man. I feel like they should be a little more accurate than this. He got in there like that and did not take much damage at all. Yeah, I guess I gotta conserve, because I don't know how much ammo I have on these guys. But obviously I need to keep enough. My little guns are just not landing hits. Alright, let's go back to my gun, to my ships. Because Leon's already taken some damage. Alright, we sank the first one. Finally. A lot of ships out there, though. And you can see we have basically our understanding up here at the top of what we're facing. 2 battle cruisers, one of which we've done a lot of damage to. We still haven't identified everything because we're not close enough. Now let's take this second destroyer out. I want to get a good look at this first one, though. Oh, he's already underwater. Little oil slick there. Some lifeboats in the water. And like somebody suggested, probably the smoke effects are what is going to slow things down a lot. And I think there's a way in the settings, if you see here, there's post effects. I don't know if that mostly deals with things like the fire and stuff like that, but there are a lot of settings. Most of the settings, though, you can't change while in game. They have to be done before you even boot up. It's in kind of the screen when you first open to load. All right, so now we've got his. You can see his ships are kind of spread out now. We've launched some torpedoes. I don't know how effective those are going to be, but. Going to stay at this long distance for now. Leon has taken some damage. It's at 86%. The other 2 are fine, but he's going to go after my flagship all he can. Oh man, looks like we've lit up this battle cruiser pretty good. He's got some fires raging on deck. Let's watch him for a minute or two. I don't know if there's a way to kind of center on him. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. I'm going to watch him for a minute or two. I want to see some hits come in. Let's turn around and watch it from the other side, though. Here comes a hit. Come on, land. Yes! Hit one of his main guns. He's got a lot of big guns on this ship. Alright, one of mine just took some damage to the main tower. It's Leon. It's still at 86% though. Oh, here comes some big hits. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! And you can see, you get little detailed information by the minute. Over here in the bottom left, as far as what we've done. Here, he's blasting over these big guns now. We're gonna watch and see what this does to Leon. Some of the smaller ones are bouncing off. Oh, this is glorious to watch. And you can see the fire damage. That's kind of cool. Here comes some more shots from the big guns coming in. Yes! Yes! That was some big time damage. A lot of them hit the side though. We want them to land on top if possible. Man. He's trying to turn now. Now here come the shots from my little guns. See how that cruiser over here, the Kleber, is not taking any damage yet. I'm going to speed things up a little bit. Alright, we took some more damage on our flagship. It's down to 82%. But I really want to take out these big ships of his, because then I'm not too worried about the destroyers. Oh, that was huge. Major hits scored there. He's not going to last long now. Starting to list a little bit to the right. It looked, maybe that was just because he was turning. Boom. 16%. Another couple hits and he's gone. She's on fire now. Multiple fires. Still going to get off a couple more shots. I want to watch this one all the way till sinking, so. Nice. 11%. Tell you what though, these things are taking a beating. I've landed a lot of direct hits. I don't know if I want to switch to armor penetrating. I don't even know if I have that kind of firepower on my ship. But that's something to keep in mind too, is the different kinds of shells. You got high explosive, you got armor penetrator. That was a ton of damage. Okay, he's done. Let's watch this one sink now. Bye-bye, Battleship Republic. That's one of his big ones down. He's got 2 battleships, 5 cruisers, and 5 destroyers. I think we've sunk 1 destroyer. He's got a battleship, yeah, and then still 5 cruisers, and then 4 more destroyers. Come on, Republic, start sinking. Give me the satisfaction. See, it wasn't taking on water, so it's still floating. It's just structurally in bad shape, so it's probably going to take a little while before it sinks. Looks like it's going down aft. So we're going to get to see the stern stick up in the air. I take way too much satisfaction in this part. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because it's sinking very slowly. There it goes. I don't know. I just really enjoy this part. Alright, we'll make it go a little faster. There's still a lot of battle happening. And I spotted his other battleship. The fires are still raging on the surface, which is kind of awesome, because obviously with oil, you could have fires burning on the surface like that. He looks like he's breaking up right here in the center. That's kind of cool, too. Alright, back to it. Let's get over to the Leon, because she's taking on some damage, my flagship. But we've already taken out one of his battleships. And the other one's right up here in front. So let's be targeting him now. So the sooner we take that guy out, the better off we'll be. And he's at 68%. Oh no, 75. Leon's at 68. So let's get our firepower going on him. He looks like he's a little smaller than the other one. Yeah, the guns aren't nearly as big on this one. So we already took out his big one. Oh, here we go. These are some of my smaller guns right now firing on him. Oh, the sound. That was so cool. You could actually hear the sound of the shells ricocheting off the armor. Here comes his big guns firing. Alright, we're going to speed things up a little bit. Alright, my third one, Victorioso, is taking some damage a little bit. He's at 89%. Gotta be a little careful here of that. But I feel like it's gonna get a lot easier once I've taken out both of his battleships. Then we'll go after the cruisers. Here come the big guns. Oh yeah. Still a little bit choppy. We might have to turn it down some more for the bigger battles. There's some major fire raging on the Bouvet now. Let's head back over and look at my ships. And I don't know, let's see how long it takes to reload these guys. Rate of fire, 0.63 rounds a minute. So that minus 25%, I'm not sure why that is, but there must be some things that affect that. So we got the ship's log here. You can actually see, specifically for this ship, what guns hit and what damage they did and where. So those are going to be things that are going to be helpful to learning what works and what doesn't, is just kind of seeing them in action. And it looks like I took out one of the Bouvet's main guns. So he's probably nearly out of this. Yeah, he's at 19%. He's going down soon. Let's get over there and take a look at him. He's not on fire, which kind of surprises me a little bit. Another volley, here we go, with the big guns. Yep, I was just going to say, another volley with the big guns is going to take him out, and that's exactly what happened. So both battleships are out of action now. Now his destroyers are up nice and close. They're probably coming in for torpedoes. There is some protection that you can give your ships from torpedoes. There's some things you can put underwater on the hull that actually give you some protection, and they'll safely detonate the torpedoes away from your hull. I'm going to get a little look right here from kind of the side, watching the battleship steam. So we've taken out both battleships and one destroyer. I'm at 66%, so I have taken a lot of damage at the Leon. The other two are in pretty good shape. 96%. We're a little closer than I'd like to be, 80% there. I really could be fighting this from further away. Oh man, one big volley from the 18-inch guns took out one of his destroyers. So what's he got left? And that's a battleship that's sinking. It just hasn't sunk yet. Oh yeah, let's watch it. So satisfying. That's awesome. I love it. So we're going to have 4 cruisers, all 5 cruisers, and 2 destroyers left. So we've got a long way to go. But the biggest threat is eliminated. There goes another one. It is not going to take long to take out these destroyers with these big guns that I've got. Yeah, you better run, Basque. Let's follow him for a little while. I want to see the shots come in, though. So he's turning quick. I mean, these destroyers, they're nimble. They're quick. They're going to be hard to hit with these big guns as fast as he moves. But when I hit him, I will hit him. Here come some of the big guns again. And then we'll go after the cruisers. There's a hit. Wasn't a hit with the big gun. Still did some damage. There's another one. I'm not sure what the little symbol, all the conning towers damage. That's what that's about. So obviously, I mean, any damage that happens is going to have an effect on the ship's ability. Now he's turned to me. So this is my chance right here. There we go. That was a big hit. Ship's on fire in the rear. Alright, we just sank one of his cruisers. Let's see where that's at. That's way off in the distance. That was a nice long-range shot there. I'm still getting used to the controls being backwards. Look at that. We hit him on the side. He didn't have a lot of armor on the side, apparently, to be able to take him out that easily. Structurally at 8%, I'm kind of surprised he already sank. He's going down, straight down, in the middle. Don't see that too often. All it's because he's snapped in half. Alright, what do we got left? Let's head back over to my flagship. Still got one destroyer over here. A couple hits on the Basque and he'll be gone. And then we've got, what, 4 cruisers? I guess we've taken out all the other destroyers. This is the only one left. One more good, solid hit from the 18-inch guns, and he's toast. Let's see how we're doing here. So we're on fire a little bit, or at least we were. Love hearing those dings when it bounces and doesn't cause any damage. This cruiser's coming in close, the Kleber. We'll start taking him out soon. In fact, let's get everybody firing on him. We'll worry about that destroyer later. We've got another cruiser up here. He's at 99%. Sully, 100%. Alright, just for the sake of time, so this doesn't drag on for too long for those of you who are viewing. We've been playing at twice speed. We're going to go up to 5. Just because I want to see how it all ends up and see the kind of the final screen with the reports and everything. Oh, yeah! See, we're getting close now. And so the shots are getting more accurate, and I'm getting a little more bold because I'm not too worried about being close at this point. Leon's having a little trouble turning, it seems, because I'm issuing an order to turn, and it's not happening nearly as quickly as I'd like it to. So you know what? Maybe we'll just go right up the middle. And it looks like we're not... Okay, there Canby's turning. He has orders to follow, but he's not really following. I'm getting a little more bold now because I've taken out his battleship, so I'm not too worried. We're gonna nail the Sully pretty soon because we're up so close. It's almost impossible to miss at this distance. So let's go ahead and slow down a little bit so we can see it happen. Might be ramming him if I don't see him soon and get these guys to turn. Oh man, he is listing big time. There's a torpedo. Yes. All right, Canby. He's sinking. Can we not run into him, please? There we go. That was super close. I'm gonna go ahead and give AI orders now and just let these guys do their own thing at this point. And just watch the fun. We've still got one destroyer out there, but he's in bad shape. One good hit should finish him off. As the battle's gone on, it's gotten a little more choppy. So, I mean, again, I've got room to work with my graphics, but if you've got a really low-end system, you're going to have trouble with this game, I think. I'm somewhere in between. I've got a decent system, but not great. Oh, that's how we turn the camera. So right-click. I've been trying to figure out how to change the angle on my camera, and it's just holding down right-click is how we do it. And the game crashed. Okay, so that's the first crash I've had, but this is an alpha game, so that's to be expected. So we're going to wrap things up right there. My apologies for that not ending well, but we're going to see that happen from time to time. So just so you can see the options available as far as the graphics go, this is where we have to make all of our changes as far as input goes. This is where you can make your control changes. So I'm going to make my change with W, A, S, and D and get those the way I want them. Or E and X, I guess is what I want. The graphics, like I said, were set to good there. On my first video, they were on fantastic. There's a lot you can still do to bring them down. But I'll just let you see what my graphics settings are as far as what my computer is so you can understand how it's choppy and what it's running on. So here you can see a little bit about my system so you understand what I've got that I'm working with. I've got a AMD A10 7800 Radeon R7, 3.5 gigahertz, 16 gigabytes of RAM. I'm working with a NVIDIA 1050, I think, Ti. Let's take a look. I'll show you that too here. Display. There we go. Yeah, GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. So that's what I'm running, and at good graphics quality. You could see where it kind of got choppy in a battle with 10 or 12 ships, so you can understand what you may be up against. I obviously don't have a super high-end system, or this would probably run fine. It's also an alpha version of the game, so they've got some work to do, obviously, and that's going to happen as time goes on. So I'm going to go ahead and drop out for now, but you got to see at least a little bit of a high-end kind of end-stage battleship for the game. We'll come back to some other things next time. If you have something specific you want to see me try out and play on this game, let me know. You can use destroyers, smaller ships as well. I don't know about submarines. I would guess they'll probably be in the game, but I haven't seen that yet. So we'll dive into all of that in future videos. Just let me know in the comment section below what you want to see. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.